Go.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
We came back to investigate what is
There's a weird,
hitting.
There's a popping sound. It's the electric fence, but it's making a popping sound, and not sure where. So we're gonna go investigate. But then we also found out that we have. Should we get these chickens first?
Yeah, let's. I think they're just gonna go right in.
Oh. Okay. I thought we were gonna capture them and clip their wings.
We will, but for the sake of figuring this out.
Oh, I see. Here's what it is. A bug
Oh man,
got between.
that happens.
Where is it?
Yep, right there.
Yeah, a bug got between the line and the metal.
There's a little stick you can use.
And it got zapped. Zapped
It's
real good.
amazing how loud that is when they. There you
There we
go.
go.
All done.
That little bug made
We
that.
could hear it all the way from the house.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. You know, we are at the same point we were yesterday, where we don't really have anything to talk about.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
today it was a.
We don't have any updates to talk about. How about that?
Right, yeah. So today I redid, we're trying something new on the RV side, trying to improve our power situation, because there are times where we have power outages. They're not prolonged power outages, but they're power outages. And we want to make sure that when we have those outages, Katie can keep working, internet still works. We can still do things like run our space heaters if it's cold and wintry out. You know, just the normal stuff. So I was working on that today. We'll be doing a video on that at the end of this month.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what it was today. And I'm not going to go into it because there's a video about it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people had questions about, are we going to be getting into the house for winter? Is that our plan? No, that's not our plan. Our plan is to work on the house, but not to move into it. We both really decided we don't want to live in a construction zone. That we've done it before. We don't like it. It's too messy. So
hold this for a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we don't want to do that. So our goal is to start working on the house again here. Hopefully in the near future. Like we mentioned yesterday, I think we didn't quite finish everything, but we're working on stuff still.
The goal, the intent was to start working on the house the first of this month, and it's what, now the 12th? It's just so crazy how things there's just these little things that just need to get done, and they just take time.
Yeah, everything takes time.
But, yeah.
And going back to work and other life things that we don't talk about. So there's just a lot going on for us right now. So we obviously we've been devoting a lot of our time and attention to the chickens. We know this. We get a ton of questions on why we have so many. We've answered it several times. But this is the beginning of a business. We're not profitable yet, but yes, we have sold chickens. We've sold almost 20 chickens so far, even though we haven't officially really started. We've, through word of mouth and friends and things like that, we have been able to make some sales. We are getting up and running. We have a little bit more to do. They're not of age yet. Most of them aren't even laying yet. So this is really for spring. So we've devoted a lot of time getting the infrastructure set up for them this year. So next year, we don't have all of the infrastructure pieces to deal with when we have the babies and the hatching and things like that. So that's why we've devoted so much time for chickens. It's going to be selling. Jack,
We can just walk away from
Jack?
him. Yeah,
He's like, get away.
yeah, he's just like.
So it's, we're going to be selling live chickens, mostly is what our business is.
Are we going to be selling the chicks, baby?
Yeah, we'll be selling.
Betty and the chicks?
We're not going to sell Betty.
But are we selling Betty's chicks?
We will likely sell Betty's chicks, yes. So they will probably be up. The red ones are Rhode Island red fathers and miscellaneous mothers, and the white ones are Brahma fathers, miscellaneous mothers. So it's pretty interesting how dominant the breeds are. We've gotten some really pretty, these are just barnyard, but there's 11 of these ones. I'm thinking quite a few are going to be roosters,
Yeah,
just with their tails and whatnot, what I'm seeing so far. The Brahmas are always harder to tell. So the Brahmas you really have to pay attention to. Like this little one, he's like, what's going on? But they're really adorable, these Brahmas. Like, hello. He's like, nope. Mama. So yeah, we'll be, most of what we'll be selling is either going to be, like day old or week old chicks. And then also we'll be selling guaranteed pullets, once we've made sure that they're females, and we'll of course sell roosters as well. So anyway, just thought I'd reiterate that again because it's still the most common question we get on every single vlog from both channels.
Why so many chickens?
Why do we spend all of our time on chickens and not on the house?
Yeah.
Because it's setting up so that we can refocus on the house.
Yeah, and I think the setup of the chicken infrastructure took a little bit longer than we anticipated.
Everything does.
Everything does, but that's okay because if things go according to plan, it'll be a very good business for us.
Yeah, and it's now with what we did in the 2-week challenge and setting up some of those extra feeders, the doors, the waters, it has cut down chore hours, at least for me, pretty significantly in the evening, and then for you in the mornings.
Yeah.
So that also, all of that work is going to help us be able to spend more time on projects and actually finishing and following through on some stuff. Because right now we just had a whole bunch of started stuff and everything was very much in the midst of something and we had way too much going on. So that's why we wanted to wrap it all up, get it completed so that we can kind of have a clean slate and have more of a focus on getting the house done. Because we've got a couple of major projects for the house and then we can start focusing in on each of the rooms and working through getting those.
Yeah, so some of those, you want to walk up and do a check on those chickens while we...
I already did today. I already did my chores, but...
Oh, you did? So we'll do a walk anyway. Go see how the sheep are doing. How about that?
Okay.
I'll turn them around. They can kind of see some of my scattering of activities today. Little sneak preview. Not the bike, but that's one of the things. Part of the power.
More solar.
Yeah. So one of the things for the house, the major things for the house, number one, I need to fix the flooring. The floor is not very level. It waves quite a bit. And I've been thinking a lot about how I'm gonna do this. It's a 1930s house. It was built maybe not even to 30s code, I don't even know. But basically,
And then it was moved.
And so basically, the floor joists are more than 2 feet apart, and they are not dimensional, or they are not normal size lumber. They are rough cut lumber, about they're 3x5 oak beams, more than 24 feet apart. And then on top of that is 1 inch thick tongue and groove oak boards that was the hardwood floors prior to that. And then somebody put over, I think 3/4 inch plywood flooring on top of that. It still bows and it still does this, but so I was thinking what I could do is add some more reinforcements down below to get it to be 16 inch on center floor joists. Don't get yourself again, honey.
What is this?
Well, that's honeysuckle.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to have that rash thing again. I had cut down a bunch for them a couple days ago. So add some more floor joists and then go upstairs and just use floor leveler to level the floor. I was thinking at first I was gonna have to try to find a way to raise, to jack up the individual floor joists and get the actual floor more level and less wavy, but I think that's just gonna be way too hard. But if I add more reinforcements to the floor structure by adding more floor joists, then I'll be able to put the leveler on, which is heavy, but it'll level everything out and make it so we can put down the flooring. So that's one of the big projects. The other big project is, as you guys know, we did the cathedral ceilings, and I need to add insulation up there, venting up there. And so the venting, I haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna do that because it's not vented the way it should be for proper airflow through a ceiling and through a roof. And I don't know if I can do it the proper way through the eaves and then up to a roof vent. So I have to figure out how to do that. And then the roof joists, it's not trusses, they're joists. Those are again 3x5, and so they're not very thick, and so it won't be enough insulation. So I have to figure out a way to make those thicker, probably by putting some scabs or something on and putting insulation in there. So there's a lot of things that I've never done before that has to be done. Those are the big projects. And then once we get that done, it's getting the drywallers back out, finish the drywalling, and then it's the finish work for us. And something that we've both never done, install cabinets.
Yeah.
And get those, and then countertops, and there's just a whole bunch
little
of
stuff.
I wouldn't call it little.
Stuff.
I wouldn't call it little.
It's just little stuff, honey. just one little project at a time. You put a cabinet in, it's level. That's one little thing.
Yeah, right.
And then you put the next one.
We're gonna have a 2-week challenge of 50 items.
Doing the kitchen.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at with things. There's another big thing coming up that is going to take quite a bit of my time, and we'll have to be talking about that after it happens. But anyway, so we have some things on the horizon that's going to prevent us from getting back to the house, doing remodel for a little bit more time. But our focus is to get there and doing all these.
We'll just safely say about a month.
Yeah, about a month.
About a month. So right before the Christmas holidays is about when we'll start being able to get ready back into the house.
Yeah, unless things transpire.
Yep.
And then we can do it a little sooner, but.
We're just going to give ourselves till that.
Yeah. Well, they seem to be doing fine, the sheep. I mean, I know that they're wanting out, but.
Well, of course they want out. They want to hang out with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to be to a point here pretty soon to get some hay. We found this in our pile of wood chips.
Yeah, when we had the local wood chip company drop off a bunch of wood chips, apparently that was
this
inside.
came with it.
Yeah, that and a whole bunch of other trash like
plastic
bottles and plastic bottles and stuff that they just kind of throw in the back there because it usually goes to a landfill or something. But
yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with things. I need to do chores. I need to get the doggies fed rather. And that's about it, right?
Yeah, tonight we're gonna trim the remaining wings. We were able, all of the birds that we moved, we trimmed all of their wings, all of the chickens, except for the Americanas that you just saw us shooing back in at the beginning of this video. So those Americanas need all of their wings trimmed, and then that way, because what happens right now is they're actually getting up on the roof line. You can see one right there. So they're getting up on the roof line.
Here. 2 of them are up there.
And then what happens is we do have falcons.
Yep.
That two of the 3 trees that we cut down, that was another big thing, is they used to be in one of those trees a lot and watch our birds. And so now they've just kind of picked other trees because they have plenty to choose from.
Right before you came out and we started filming, that falcon was up in that tree right up there.
Yep.
And was eyeing Betty Jane and the chicks who were right there.
Yeah.
Betty Jane saw it. The chicks ran underneath that bushy tree.
Oh yeah.
And the falcon went and
back over.
So there is a falcon that's watching these.
Yep.
And so
what's happening is they're getting up there, and as long as they're not on, but once they get to the peak, which that one's almost to the peak, that's when they can get picked off. And so we obviously don't want to lose any of our like that. That's like the worst place she can be.
That's the exact worst place that she could be.
So we got this little pokey stick here to shoo them back down, but we do need to, we were just gonna wait till they perched at night.
Side, yeah.
And then we just take some headlamps out. We have our scissors ready to go. It's just, we just didn't do it last night because the dogs were reacting to something in the woods quite a bit. So we were doing a lot of wandering around trying to figure out what they were barking at.
Investigation. And we'll find that out, hopefully, because I put some trail cams back there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Never a dull moment, but not always a lot of updates.
Right. That's a very good way of saying it. Never a dull moment, but not always a lot of updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all progress. We're always moving forward.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then thanks for watching.
Take care.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Levi.
You ready for your dinner?
You, sir, got in the biggest brambles.
Are you ready for your dinner?
Are you ready to be groomed again?
Are you hungry?
He's like,
so many questions.
He's like, I do want to be groomed. I do want dinner. Oh, these all sound wonderful. Can I get the pets too? Oh, can we run? How about the creek?
Go run.
Run. Oh, okay. Hiya!